Have you ever walked into a room full of people, yet felt like a ghost among them? Have you ever wondered why you're always the one left out, misunderstood, or even targeted, when your heart only means well? If that sounds like you, you might just be one of the chosen ones. And what I'm about to tell you will finally make everything in your life make sense. You see, chosen ones aren't just born, they're called. Called into a deeper purpose, called into a higher frequency. But with that calling comes isolation, a kind of solitude that isn't just physical, but spiritual. It's not that people are pushing you away. It's that your energy, your light, your presence, it separates you. It exposes what others are hiding. It reminds people of their own shadows. And most people aren't ready to face that. Chosen ones walk a lonely path, not because they're unworthy of love, but because they carry a vibration so high, so unique, that the average soul cannot match it. Have you noticed that small talk exhausts you? That gossip, drama, and meaningless conversations make you feel like you are in the wrong dimension. That's not accidental. That's spiritual. Your soul longs for depth, for truth, for meaning. And that's rare in this world. Even as a child, you likely felt different. While others played without care, you were observing. While others laughed in groups, you were analyzing the silence. You may have even been called weird, too sensitive, or too quiet. But what they didn't see, what they couldn't understand, was that you were sensing energy, picking up vibrations, absorbing pain that didn't even belong to you. Because chosen ones aren't just gifted, they're empathic. They feel what others ignore. They notice what others pretend isn't there. And because of that, they become the mirror that no one wants to look into. When you enter a space, people either feel drawn to you or triggered by you, not because you've done anything wrong, but because your presence awakens something. Your silence speaks volumes. Your eyes hold wisdom. Your energy demands honesty. And most people, subconsciously, avoid that level of raw truth. So, they distance themselves. They project. They criticize. Sometimes, they even betray you. Not because you're flawed, but because they can't handle the light you carry. Now here's the painful truth. The more awakened you become, the lonelier it gets. Enlightenment doesn't come with a crowd. When your vision becomes clear, you'll realize how many people were only with you because of what you could offer, not who you truly are. You'll start shedding relationships, not out of bitterness, but because your soul can no longer tolerate the weight of fakeness. Your energy begins to reject what no longer aligns. There are nights where you'll cry yourself to sleep, asking, "Why me?" You'll wonder why the universe gave you this path, why your heart is so big, yet often feels so empty, why you're always the one giving, forgiving, and showing up, only to be left behind when you need someone. But here's the truth. You were never meant to fit in. You were meant to rise above. You were meant to lead. Think about every great soul in history. Prophets, healers, leaders, mystics. They all walked alone. They all suffered in silence. They all carried burdens the world couldn't see, because divine missions require divine isolation. The silence you're experiencing, it's sacred. It's where God prepares you, strengthens you, teaches you. When no one else is around, that's when your true power awakens. That's when you meet yourself fully. There's a reason the chosen path is narrow. There's a reason eagles fly alone while pigeons flock together. You're not alone because you're unloved. You're alone because your energy is rare. And rare things are never found in crowds. But this is not where your story ends. This is where it begins to shift. Because in your isolation, you're being transformed. Every tear is watering your future. Every betrayal is sharpening your discernment. Every loss is redirecting your path. You're not being punished. You're being positioned. The friendships that faded, that was protection. The job that didn't work out, that was divine redirection. The people who couldn't love you, that was a sign. They weren't meant to go where you're going, because the place you're heading is sacred. and not everyone is qualified to come with you. You're being prepared for greatness, but preparation requires separation. You can't carry everyone with you. Some people were part of your story, but not your destiny. You're being stripped down, not to suffer, but to become untouchable, to become a force, to become the version of you that no one can shake, fake, or break. And yes, it's hard. Yes, it's painful. But trust this, the solitude you feel today is birthing the strength you'll need tomorrow. When the time is right, your tribe will appear. People who understand you without words, who resonate with your spirit, who don't drain you, but elevate you. But they will only find you after you've found yourself. And that's why this loneliness matters. It's not emptiness, it's alignment. It's your spirit coming back home. The world may not understand you now, but one day they'll look at you in awe, wondering how you did it, how you rose from the ashes, how you stayed kind in a cruel world, how you kept your faith when everything was falling apart. And you'll smile, because you'll know the path was never about being accepted. It was about being chosen. You see, being chosen doesn't mean being celebrated. It often means being misunderstood, misjudged, and misused. But what makes you chosen is not just what you've been given. It's what you've survived. It's what you've walked through in silence. It's the battles you fought behind closed doors with no audience, no applause, and no support. Just you, your soul, and your Creator. That silence, that was sacred ground. That was the battlefield where your spirit was trained. And no one saw it, but that's what makes it real. The world rewards performance, but God rewards perseverance. And chosen ones, real chosen ones, don't get power from people. They get power from purpose. Every time you chose to forgive when you had every right to lash out. Every time you chose to stay soft in a world that made you want to go cold. Every time you held back your truth because you knew no one around you could receive it. Those moments built something in you that no school, no job, no relationship ever could. It's lonely because you're being refined. The fire you're in isn't to destroy you. It's to burn away everything that's not truly you. You're not being broken. You're being rebuilt. Stronger, sharper, wiser, and yes, more alone, but also more aligned. Because the deeper you go into your purpose, the fewer people can follow. Your path narrows, not to trap you, but to keep you focused. Think of the caterpillar. It disappears into the cocoon. Alone, forgotten, looked over. But inside that darkness, inside that isolation, something sacred happens. It dissolves. It lets go of everything it was. And when it emerges, it doesn't just walk anymore. It flies. But nobody sees the process. They only see the wings. The same is happening to you. Your wings are forming. That's why you feel so disconnected from the world around you. That's why conversations feel empty. That's why you crave depth in a shallow world. Because your soul is outgrowing the surface level. You weren't made to just survive. You were made to soar. But flight requires solitude. You can't rise if you're still carrying the weight of people who don't believe in your wings. You may have noticed this shift recently. Friends falling away, relationships fading, your tolerance for anything fake or forced getting lower and lower. That's not you becoming bitter. That's you becoming clear. The veil is lifting. The illusion is dying. You're finally seeing who was truly with you and who was just near you. And that clarity is a gift. It's painful, yes, but it's also powerful. Because the moment you stop chasing connection and start embracing your calling, you enter a new level of strength, a new level of peace, a new level of self-love. You stop begging people to understand you. You stop watering yourself down just to keep others comfortable. You stop explaining your soul to people committed to misunderstanding you. And you start living for something bigger than being liked. You start living for truth. And that right there is where everything begins to change. You start attracting people who don't need you to pretend, who don't flinch at your depth, who feel like home instead of lessons, but you'll only find them when you've mastered being alone. That's the test. That's the requirement. Because only when you're no longer afraid of your own company do you meet those who are truly worthy of walking beside you. You see, the universe doesn't give chosen ones a crowd. It gives them a cause. You're here to shift the energy, to break generational curses, to plant seeds that will bloom long after you're gone. You're here to be light in the dark, truth in the lies, real in the fake. And because of that, you'll always be set apart. So stop waiting for the world to clap for you. Stop waiting for people to understand. Stop waiting for someone to tell you, you're enough. You already are. You always were. The silence you feel is not abandonment. It's sacred training. And the more you embrace it, the more you'll begin to feel something rise within you that no one can give and no one can take away.